I get there, and from day one, it was just horrible. I had a bad feeling. I knew what hotel I had to go to. There's a Swiss hotel with a casino on the first floor. So I'm sitting at the casino at one of the machines playing that has a view to the front entrance of my hotel, which is across the street, because I had a bad feeling. So I'm sitting there playing, but I'm also watching the door. I walk across the street, and when I walk into reception, the young lady that was always there wasn't there, but there was a different guy there. He looks at me and he says, "Mr. Castro?" For some reason, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up, and I just looked at him and was like, "Yes." He's like, "Your friend is over there waiting for you." I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And I turned around, and there's this guy over there, and he stands up. So I'm like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" Like, if we're old friends and we know each other, because we're old friends. So walk up to him, give him a hug, and when I hug him, I immediately smell that he smells like death. And in our business, we don't walk around smelling like death. We're always, nice and clean, cologne on, cream, whatever. But this guy smelled horrible. So that was like red flag number one. So I back up from him, I look at him. So we sit down on the couch right there, right by the front entrance to the lobby. And we're talking. So I'm like, "How are you? How's everything going?" And I'm looking around. Got a bunch of people around me. We're talking. He's like, "Listen, I'm going to leave you the bag. And I'm going to go back to my hotel and go take a shower because the trip was crazy. I was on a bus for like 40 hours. So I'm like, all right. In my head, I'm like, all right, so this is why, he took forever. It's starting to make sense. Yeah. Okay. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go upstairs. I was like, listen, just go do your thing, come back, and we'll go out tonight. He had this like little kangaroo like man purse with the drugs in it. So he puts it there on the couch. And I pick it up and go to leave. Go to leave, and bam, everybody that was around me, DEA, Interpol, undercover police officers, everybody just grabs me. They open up and everybody's like, "Yeah, fresh meat." And I'm like, oh my God. When they open up that door and I see all these people, I'm like, what? It's like a small village. You see like 3 huts over there, see some pool tables on the yard, see women dancing with men. They're dancing salsa. They got 3-4 foot speakers out in the yard.
This is the prison.
This is the prison. They got bottles of liquor, got tables set up. People dance. It's a party. While I'm watching all this, I'm like in shock. And all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, white boy." And I turn to my right, and there's this white guy, blonde hair, green eyes. "What's up?" He's like, "You're American, huh? Come on, come with me, bro." He's like, "We're going upstairs." So I'm walking up the steps. I'm walking with this guy. Everybody's cheering. Like, yeah. I got my little suitcase. Some guys are coming, trying to like grab my suitcase, but just messing around.
Right.
Not real. They're just like, "Hey," like trying to scare you. And I was just like, what the hell's going on? Walk up the steps, and he opens up this door, and this is the cell where the guy that runs the jail lives. So they call him Caporal. His name was Orlando. So I walk in, Orlando's there, his wife, and his 2 kids. They got a TV on, watching,
And this is an inmate.
The cartoon channel, inside the jail on the 2nd floor in cell 1. The kids are there watching the Cartoon Network, and he's chilling on the bed with a cell phone. He's got like 3 cell phones on the bed as well.
I almost died in Mexico, surprisingly enough. For the G20 summit, Obama was down there, and this was 2012, and we were part of his special warfare maritime like interdiction piece or like extraction force. So anytime he was transiting in car, they were worried about the cartels. They would have, SEALs and some SWIC guys. We would be a couple miles out to sea in ribs, fully kitted up, kind of like paralleling them. And if they were going to have any issues, we were out there for a week while during this little op, and a huge storm came in, and I was jumping onto the boat. We were going to have to go inland and take cover in the port. So I was jumping on in these huge swells at night, 2 a.m, way out to sea, and I hit the side of the thing and I went in the drink, full kit, 6 magazines, 1 in the gun, M4 wire to my kit, night vision, helmet, backpack, everything, pistol in the drink, and like no flotation. And I was swimming, man, and I was heavy and was putting out. I thought I was going to die for sure. I was swimming, I don't know how long, probably was no longer than a minute and some change, but finally was getting away from the props and the chaos and a lot of stuff going on, and I'm sinking, and I thought, well, this is how it ends. And right at that point, a hand came down from one of the smaller boats, and I got it, and it was one of my OIC, and that was it, man.
What do you think of Wes Watson?
Wes is great, man. I know Wes personally. Wes actually was kind of who opened my eyes to universal principles and things like that, because if people don't people can, they might look from the outside perspective, but if you actually talk to him, I know him personally. So if you talk to him and actually watch all of his videos, incredible how deep he dives into actually universal principles, all these really deep topics, Stoic philosophers, and it's packaged rough. But if you want to learn some shit, he'll drop some knowledge.
When I have a few I've been able to listen to, his delivery is so overwhelmingly obnoxious that I can't watch it, bro. Like, first of all, the stories stop. I've been in prison. You did not behave like this in prison. It's so over the top. The yelling at people, calling them names. You're this, you're that. Bro. Like, what are you doing? Like,
man, he's got his delivery. With me, has always been straight up. He's
making money. I mean, he's obviously doing this. Somebody's paying.
I've got nothing but good things to say about him personally.
They were designating everybody their security levels, what prisons they were going to. Smith, level 1, Harris, level 2, blah, blah, blah. And they get to me, and they're like, Willard, you're going to a 4. I don't really know what none of this means. Some of them guys had already been down the road and received me. And I kid you, I never seen nothing like this after this part of my bid. When the counselor said I was going to a level 4, those guys physically started separating themselves from me. And not because I'm not but it's just, they automatically, I was like, oh, they're looking at me crazy. And the counselor's even talking to me different, like trying to get me prepared in a different way for where I'm going versus them.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, man, about 3-4 days after that, I was on the bus and I got sent straight to Sussex 2, level 4, maximum security prison, 70%, if not more, lifers. Get off the bus. They bring you into a room. I don't know if they still do it. It's basically a change out cell. And they bring out a camera on you. You're getting naked and they're getting pictures of your tattoos and they're asking you questions and they're talking. They're doing whatever they're doing. You get past that portion after they tell you squat and cough, all the traumatizing stuff. And you go to the barber shop, they shave your head down. Because at the time, you couldn't even have facial hair. You could have a mustache and think like 1.25 inches of hair or something like that. And I remember when they opened the door, it's like July and we're inside. When they opened the door, it was like the Coliseum. It felt like the sun just hit hard. It was hot. We're walking down the boulevard. The rec yard is separated. It's like yards inside of yards, concrete and steel. Guys are yelling. Everybody's outside. It's hell on earth. And I know it.
What I did was I went to, I think it was like CVS or Walgreens or something, and I grabbed, all of the prepaid Visa gift cards that they have. I took a backpack and I just took the whole rack of them. So I'd have 100, 200 of these cards. Now, obviously, they don't have $100 each on them because you have to go to the counter and load them. But what I was doing is I was getting them because I just needed the physical card.
Right.
Because we had a machine that was called a MSR 206 reader writer. Now, what it did was it was a basic program that you would type whatever information you want to be encoded to the magnetic strip. You would swipe it through, and you would see on the screen that it would program the card with the new information. Now I have your debit card information that's been stolen from your track, that's been stolen from your magnetic strip. I have that now encoded to my card. Now I can go into a store and when I swipe the card, I'm using your bank account.
Right.
You have to have a card to encode those two to take to the store to use in the first place.
Right.
So that's what we were using. Initially, that's what we were using the gift cards for. I had a program that you could scan UPC labels and it would break down. You could see the lines of code for it. So it would show you how to program the UPC labels. So then I would go get legitimate coupons from I would just go get the paper out of the paper box and I'd go to the back and I'd get the coupons for McDonald's, Burger King. Then what I would do is I would scan the UPC label on them and I would figure out the coding for it. And then I would print out my own coupons and I would change the coding inside of the UPC label and I would change the front of the coupon. It'd be like, buy one small fry, get a double cheeseburger or whatever. Or buy one cheeseburger, get another double cheeseburger free.
Right.
You always had to spend a little bit of money. It wasn't always super free food. You always had to spend $1 or $2 or whatever.
You get $2-3 worth of.
But you would get, you would get a couple extra items. So I would and that's pretty much how it just worked. And it worked for a good solid, at least 2 solid summers. I think we did it. Yeah, 2 solid summers. And by the 3rd summer, I think they were already onto it.